Hey man, me and the locals, we're gonna grab some beers. You wanna come?
Oh, yeah. Let me just close this movie and I can get going.
Oh, how much of it you got left?
Like 10 minutes.
Dude, we're not in a rush. We can wait.
Nah, it's fine. I'm done with it.
Oh, alright. Well, finish that Red Bull and let's get going.
Oh, it's only got like 3 sips left. I'm done.
Then just finish it.
It's basically finished already.
Okay. Oh, you've got a blank spot in the wall.
Oh. Yeah, but the wall's like done, so it's fine.
You already have a hookup and everything. Why not just put a jersey up?
Dude, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh. Your fly's down, by the way.
It's like 3/4 of the way up, so good enough, right? I'll see you in the car.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you finish anything anymore?
Seriously? Why don't you ask high quality girlfriend if I ever finish anything?
Oh, okay, I will.
Oh, no. I've made a terrible mistake.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. Not right. Let's vent to each other, right? Let's vent about the same damn thing every single game. Let's do that. Let's do that over and over again. It's how the team's designed. I know it's how the team's designed, but boy, does it suck sometimes. It genuinely does. Oh, and to be clear, we are designed goaltending, defense, lackluster scoring. We're not designed to give up leads in the third. That's not what we're designed to do. That's not the part that I'm referring to with that. We're going to talk about it, though. We are going to talk about it. I just got to get into a better mood. Just got to get in a better mood. It's fine. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. That puts everyone in a better mood. Check out the Discord. Check out the membership link below. Check out my Twitter. I don't know. Check out stuff. Why does this team hate me? They don't. They don't. They hate all of us, and it's fine. The Minnesota Wild, the team that you could probably put in the top 5 of most miserable fan bases right now, not because they go through things the way the Sabres do. You'd probably put them number 1, or at least considering it. They go through things the way Vancouver did before this season, the Senators, other teams, right? No, Minnesota gets to always be meh, right? They're just in the middle. And they're not even, this season, it's not even that. They're not even just meh. They're really interesting in a lot of ways. But they are bottom third of the league in their power play and their penalty kill. They are 21st in goals for per game and 19th in goals allowed per game. But there are some nice things happening because they're starting to turn a lot of that around. They've gone 7-3-0 in their last 10, which is, good for them. Gustafsson is rebounding from a horrible start. He was terrible and has had 3 really good starts in his last 5, and I would actually argue it should be 4, but he had some really unfair defending in one of those recent games, that Pittsburgh game. I don't think there's much you can do about that. Doesn't really matter because we're going to be playing Fleury, who is walking into this one with an .886 save percentage, a 3.29 goals allowed average while winning 4 of his last 11 games played. He did allow 3 goals, but he was incredible in this game. He was unbelievably good in this game. Sometimes I feel like we get goal lead, but it's because we don't create enough. We chuck pucks on net, and it's easier to get goal lead that way. This felt like us actually getting goal lead. I know every fan base feels like this, but it does really feel like the Bruins always walk into the goaltender who's just like, this is going to be the best game of my season tonight against you guys. It just feels like that. I know every fan base feels like that, but special shout out to Brock Faber, who is a 21-year-old defenseman who is averaging 24 minutes a night with the Minnesota Wild right now. And in the last 4 games, the lowest amount of ice time he had was over 28 minutes out of those 4 games. I think in 3 of them he broke 30. Unbelievable. They're really trying. They're trying to win, and Faber's given him a great chance to. He's been awesome. He's playing a ton of minutes though, too many minutes. Let's talk about the Bruins though. Patra is off to the World Juniors. I'm not upset about it. I don't disagree with it. I don't agree with it. I just thought, hey, fine, right? It sounds like the team was doing right by Patra because he had dreamed of doing this. He said it was on his mind since the beginning of last year. Awesome. Let the kid go do this, have some high-pressure games, things like that. Not that the NHL isn't high pressure, but we're talking about a tournament on a national level that everyone's watching. I think it'll be good for him. I genuinely think it'll be good for him. I can see arguments for and against. It is what it is. That's one of those things where I have not a clickbaity title for it. I don't have a strong opinion either way. If he had stayed, great. Love to keep him here. And he went, fine, whatever. I don't think either move craters us or him, is I guess what I'm getting at. Speaking of cratering, there is a little story about Lysell. Mougenel basically highlighted a specific play, but he talked about his overall game, saying that if Lysell doesn't buy in, he's not going to play for Montgomery. Which is coming from, really, Montgomery and Sweeney, I think that statement is coming from. But I trust Mougenel. I think he's a good AHL coach. I really do. Lysell likes to play hero ball. He doesn't do great defensively. There are weaknesses to his game. I think with Lysell, you need to focus on strengthening his already strong attributes and just boosting the bad ones to the point where they're not unplayable level bad. This feels like a comment that has been made dozens of times to Lysell's face behind closed doors. And Mougenel's just like, fine, we're taking the coaching out to the public. Fine. Stop with the bullshit. I think Lysell's having a good season. I have no problem with this tactic at this point, right? We are starting to get towards, all right, next year, Lysell needs to be having a good camp and being considered for the NHL. At 21 years old, it's time for us to see if you could take that next step, in my opinion. We need to get him there. And if he's not there right now, we got to change tactics. Totally okay with those comments. But more importantly, the lines for tonight, Zacha returns and McAvoy returns. Guaranteed dub. It wasn't a dub. Marchand, Zacha, Pasta. We're going right back to it? Really? The Marchand Pasta stuff? We're going... Okay. Heinen, Coyle, DeBrusk. Just bump Marchand down. What do we do? It's fine. JVR, Geeky, Freddy. Lauko, Beecher, Steen. Beecher line was really good tonight. Grizz, McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, Wotherspoon, Shattenkirk, Lohrei has been sent down to the AHL, and then Ullmark is in net. Ullmark was way better than his box score shows as well. No fluff, no filler. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! 106 in. Grizz is going to get crunched into the boards by Foligno. Shoulder to shoulder, very legal hit in my opinion. Grizz goes to the room holding his arm. He would return, but it's just more speculation that something's not right with the guy, right? This was a hit that he braced for, that he looked very prepared for, saw it coming, still had to leave. I don't know. Something's wrong with Grizz. I'm not going to even talk about that again. We already talked about it. Something's wrong with him right now. I don't know what it is. A lot of us think injury. 6:14 in. Boldy is one-handing his stick, and DeBrusk smacks it out of his hands. That gets called as slashing because in the NHL right now, that is slashing. It's one of the It's one of the few rule changes. It wasn't technically a rule change, but they decided to call it this way, so I'm referring to it as a rule change. One of the few that I loathe entirely. If you're not holding onto your stick with both hands and it gets slashed out of your hand, that should negate a slashing call. Truly. Because you're going, oh, that looked like it was hard. You don't know. He literally had 3 fingers on the stick. Boom, gone. Anyway, we are going to the penalty kill. And we give up too much space. That's all it is. It's a bad penalty kill. 7:44 in. Wotherspoon, unable to clear it, ends up giving it right back to Gaudreau at the right point, who he's going to fling it on net, and Johansson is going to get a piece of it. It's going to deflect, and Ullmark's sliding. He's moving far on this shot. But he's able to reach back out with the left leg and kick it out, but he kicks it directly back to Johansson, who basically has a wide open net at this point. He buries it. I don't like how much space Johansson has. I don't like the failed clear by Wotherspoon. I don't like Ullmark's moves on this one. And Ullmark looked wrong for the good portion of the first to me, but he still had a great game. Weird. 1-0 power play goal for them. And off the ensuing faceoff, Lauko and Duor are just going to shed him. I have no idea why. I get like sparking the team, but yeah, you let in a goal. It's kind of early. This feels like weird timing to me. But Lauko beats the shit out of this poor guy. He just wails on him. And the crowd's going and he's going and everyone's pumped. Great. Good start. I don't know. Even though we're down by a goal, the fans are engaged. We take that. 8:20 left in the period. The Wild try to move the puck to the left point, but Beecher jumps on it, creating a turnover, and ends up just using his straight line speed to go up the wall. As the defenseman realizes, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to contain this, he tries to pinch in on him. Beecher's just too much of an athlete. Goes right by the guy, takes the contact, shrugs him aside, breaks out a 2-on-1. Pasta plays this really well by kind of slowly coming wide to this. That's going to keep Pasta off of the defenseman's radar, and it allows Beecher coming down that left wall to just fling it across the slot to Pasternak, who's going 5-hole. Fleury got a piece and probably wants this one back, but didn't get enough. It's 1-1. We're going to move on. 5:30 left. Lauko attempts a Michigan. For those of you who don't know what a Michigan is, it's when you're behind the opponent's net and you get the puck on your stick and you kind of grip it and try to fling it in the top corner from behind the net. I don't think I did a great job explaining that. Either way, he doesn't manage it. I would have died had he completed that. He was having a great first period and had a really solid game. 3:13 left. Marchand and Hartman are going to go for roughing, I guess. The ref didn't seem very confident about the call, but they're both going to go. We're going to go to 4-4. Nothing comes from it. 0.8 seconds left of the period. JVR, who's just so good for this team, dumps the puck down the left wall, wrapping it around to the right side. Zacha gets there, and he tries this little give and go thing with Pasta, who's coming along the side there. Doesn't work out. Ends up getting pushed back against the wall. Zacha has to win the board battle, which he does, and then he is going to take one step in towards the crease, fling it across the slot, because no one actually picked up Pasta, who after that failed little give and go went around the net and just back into his little circle on the left side. He collects it, fires into the wide open net. It's 2-1 with 0.8 seconds left of the clock. Excellent. We never get those. Nice to get those once in a while. And we're going to move on to the second. And the second's not much. 6:07 in, after minutes of being pinned in our own zone, we finally break the puck out and look to have a 3-on-2. But the play is blown dead because Pat Maroon, is beating the youth out of Wotherspoon. Just kicking the crap out of the guy who's on the ice. Just not... surprised that fight was happening. Didn't feel like a very fair one. Maroon gets the extra 2, obviously, and a 10-minute misconduct on top of it. We're going to go to the power play. It's a really good power play, actually. No dice, but it was really good. And then we get to the third, and everyone's messaging me, hey, are we actually going to hold on to this one? I don't know, man. Right? It's a lead in the third period. What do you want from me? Probably not. It's fine. 4:25 in. Vinny Lettieri blocks a Marchand shot right to the ankle, right down the tunnel. I bring it up just because he played a game for us. He seemed like a nice guy. Either way, hope he's okay. 5:20 in. DeBrusque tripped by Bogosian. Yeah. Power play. And Fleury kills it. The Wild don't kill it. Fleury kills it. And then it was Olmark's turn. 8 minutes in, the Wild's top line lays siege on us. And Ole just crushes every chance they had. He was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to be the goalie that once again, third period, they tied it up late. He was doing everything he could. And with 6:48 left, we kept bending, and finally we broke. This was, through 48 minutes, this was one of the best games the Bruins had played all year. It didn't reflect on the scoreboard, but they were tenacious. They were physical. They were so tough and brutal, and their forecheck was impactful. They were finding chances, and Fleury just kept making the saves. They were getting goal lead. Fine. But they were so good. And then for the last 12 minutes of this game, no. Just got run over. Run over, except for a particular play that we'll talk about in just a little bit. Either way, we win the faceoff in our zone, and Lindholm fails the clearance, which isn't really his fault, because the defenseman jumped up and grabbed it and threw it down. Like, that's a Great play by them. I'll give them that. Either way, puck is moved to the left point, shot through traffic, far post off Carlo, and it bounces to Kaprizov, who has the wide open net for a 2-2 tie. And about 6 minutes left, not long after all of that happened, Maroon blows up McAvoy. Full numbers, even knocks his helmet off. No call. Worse than Pasta's hit, in my opinion. But one of those things where you'll drive yourself nuts with it. To be fair, the refs were atrocious this whole game. And the Bruins got away with a ton of shit. They were really bad this game. That should have been called. That was a bad hit. 4:50 left. Minnesota comes back into the zone. Sets up again. Because this is what they've been doing for the past 10 minutes. And it's a shot from the high slot. Honestly, it's bad luck. McAvoy blocks it. It falls at his feet. I think McAvoy's concussed at this point. He probably isn't. I don't think they'd let him play if he was. But that hit was pretty bad. Either way, it's at his feet. He can't find it. But Hartman can. And he goes Bardowski blocker side on Ullmark from 10 feet out. It's 3-2. We just blew it. We blew it. But you don't lose faith. You've got over 4 minutes left to still win this thing. And with 2:31 left, we got in their zone. We set up, and Goligoski goes for high sticking coil. Just gets him right across the chops as they're battling in front of the net. We're going to the power play. And with 1:06 left, about a minute and a half into this power play, a mad scramble right in front of Fleury. That lasted, I swear, like 12 minutes. Probably more like 15 seconds. But you just watched. And you could see the puck the whole time. And it just kept bouncing around. And there are all these skates and bodies and everything. And finally, it just pushes out to far enough for Marchand to collect and throw it over the pile. Just chip it over everyone. It's a tie game. We're going overtime. And then in overtime, couple chances. Couple big saves by Fleury. Couple big saves by Ullmark. Excellent. But it's going to end DeBrusk, man. He did this twice during the overtime period. Same-ish result each time. The first time, he goes down the left side. He's got a defenseman in front of him. He shoots it on net. He goes high and wide. It wraps around. Minnesota gets the puck. We end up snuffing out their chance of coming back into the zone. The second time, well, same exact thing. Defenseman in front of him. Misses high and wide. It wraps around. And it's a 3-on-1 the other way. Because if you come down on either side of the ice and you miss high and wide, it's an automatic turnover with numbers the other way when it's 3-on-3. That's a known thing. I have no clue what DeBrusk is trying here and why he's trying it multiple times like this. Either way, it's a 3-on-1. It's a cross slot pass and a bullet from Kaprizov. Just wow, blockers, not blockers side, glove side. I can't even speak right now. I'm just disappointed in everything. It's 4-3 is your final. 4-3 is your final. What an embarrassing finish. Even with the tying goal, like what are we doing? I have some game notes here, but somebody replied to me on Twitter when I was talking about the game. And it's actually basically all of my notes, so I figured it'd be fun just to answer flank-tastic. All 4 points here. Here we go. DeBrusk's horrid season so far. Yeah. There's no correcting that. Like, there's no easy fix. DeBrusk, the energy I feel like has been there. He's been a little snake-bitten, but he has to start playing with the players around him, and it feels like a lot of times he's in for one thing. He walks into the zone, and he makes the one play, whether it's a one pass or one shot or anything, and that's it. That's all he's doing. It doesn't feel like he's going to the areas of the ice that are dangerous. It doesn't feel like he's laying the body at all. I mean, I feel like the effort's there. I see him skating all over the place, but none of the grit and grime. It's been bad. Horrid is probably overkill, but it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. Bummer. Next point, how we can address scoring and overall offense moving forward. Some of that, I think we're on a bit of a cold streak, 5-on-5. Some of it is also just the way the team is designed. You need different personnel. Really. It sounds dumb, but you need to improve your shooting talent and your ability there. That's basically the answer. It's not a very fun one, but trade deadline, or if you're waiting until next year, which is a whole different conversation we're not going to have right now, but that's how you're addressing it. The other way that you could address it is going to be part of this answer. Thoughts on team mentality and root cause of late game collapses. Because 3 of the last 4 games, we've had a lead in the third and we went to overtime. In the Rangers game, isn't super fair because there were some extenuating circumstances there. But the Beecher line had one of their best. Analytically, fuck off. I looked at the analytics. I get it. I'm usually a stat nerd, but I don't know. Man, I don't know with this one. It says they weren't great. I thought they were great. I thought the Beecher line was having one of its best of the season, and they played less than 8 minutes of 5-on-5. Look around the league, and it's not rare to see fourth liners get 9 or so minutes. Why are we consistently having guys at 6 minutes and 7 minutes? I'm not saying the team is gassed, especially when we just watched the Wild play most of their top guys for a whole period. Like, I get that, but man, we start skewing ice time from puck drop. People just don't get after, especially midway through the first is when you start seeing way longer between shifts for fourth liners and third liners. The Geeky line, I feel like, had maybe 4 shifts the whole first period. I don't quote me on that because that was pure vibes, but I feel like the team's gassed by the end of it. Last question, evaluated which teams we can legit take out in the playoffs. Literally any single one of them, because this team is built off of 2 things that I think play a role. Defense and goaltending. If the goaltending holds at a high level in the playoffs, which is the biggest if right now because the last 2 years it hasn't. If that holds, and we get hot on special teams with a power play that is 10th in the league or somewhere around there right now, we're as dangerous as any team in the playoffs. We are going to rely on having to be hot at that time, which is a dumb thing to say, but the way the team's currently constructed, that's how they move on. Because they will not be able to win 4 out of 7 games 2-1. They won't be able to do it. So I think we can beat literally any team in the league in a playoff series. But we can also lose to any single one of them. Because we will have to be hitting on all cylinders in a specific way. That's a cheap answer. And it's not a fun answer. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Fleury was awesome tonight. Good for him. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Go Bees. Go Bees! Thank you for watching, but of course, we've got to give a shout out to the low-quality YouTube channel members. Need a real name for that one of these days. Starting with the top line tier, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Just Aaron, Darren Woodbury, Micro Sausage, Brett Arney, Pincent, Justin Barnard, and Nick Zatrullo. You guys are studs. And then we have our stallions: Abraxion, Hailey E. Coyote, Joel, Jacob Pratt, Jason Ozzy Bruin Connolly, Tupton Detashi, Jonathan Harvey, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, Bruin Smash, and Jeremy. Absolute legends. Thank you guys so much for your support, and go Bees.